Hello everyone, welcome back. Now here in this video, I'm going to show you as how you can create your own curriculum to build your knowledge in deep learning. Now I know people wants to learn about deep learning because you can do many magical stuff. But if you want to get started in the field of deep learning, you have to learn in a way so that you can grasp everything that is required for that field and also able to perform better when you're in that specific domain. So let me give you a quick summary as what are the contents that you have to learn or what are the contents you need to look for when you're searching for a deep learning program. So starting with here in the center, I'll have deep learning. Okay, deep learning is what we are interested in learning. Now, if you're from a non-technical background or from a programmatical background as well, first you need to have one important knowledge, that is knowledge about Python programming language. Now I know people would say that you have R programming language or Java programming language. There are many programming languages out there, but the reason that I'm telling you about Python programming language because most of the famous deep learning frameworks, it could be Pytorch or it could be Tensorflow, all these codes which we write in the deep learning frameworks, it's all Pythonic in nature. That means if you learn Python programming language, it will be easier for you to work with various deep learning frameworks, that is Pytorch and TensorFlow. Okay? Now once you have the knowledge about Python programming language, next you'll go about and learn as how you can work with the data. Now here to work with the data, you'll be learning some of the various important libraries. To name a few, you'll be learning about NumPy library, you'll be learning about Pandas library, and once you know how to work with NumPy and Pandas, it will be very important for you to create a representation. So in order to do the representation, you'll learn about Matplotlib, and then you'll be learning about Seaborn, and along with that you'll also be learning about Plotly. Okay, so when you learn these three libraries, it will give you the ability to perform data wrangling and also visualization. Okay, so by learning these three things, you'll be having the ability to load the data from the external system and perform the analysis as per your requirement. Now once you have the data and once you can do the preliminary analysis, it's time that you apply the basic machine learning stuff. The reason because, see, most of the deep learning methodologies which we apply, it's all based on machine learning. Because if you know or if you have a general understanding about what deep learning is, if I try to draw a picture, okay, if I say this is my machine learning, okay, my deep learning is somewhere over here. So this deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Okay, which means to perform the machine learning, I can use this deep learning. Hence, it is very important for you to understand some of the basic concepts about machine learning. I'm not expecting you to become a master about it, but just some basics about it. When I say some basics, you should know how a typical machine learning program would look like. I mean, what are the different set of activities that you will be doing? First, we'll start from importing the libraries. You'll load the data set, you'll perform the analysis on the data set, and then you'll go about in applying various machine learning algorithms. It's important for you to understand what are the various machine learning tasks that you can do on the data, and if you're expecting to do some kind of task on the data, what are the specific algorithms that you can use. And with that understanding, you'll be able to apply various machine learning techniques that are out there. Now while doing that, you'll also apply some data pre-processing based on the machine learning algorithm requirement as well as your problem statement. And once the analysis is complete and once the data pre-processing is complete, you'll split the data set into two parts, that is training set and test set, and sometimes with validation set as well. And once you split the data into two parts, training set and test set, you're going to perform the fit on the data set. And once you perform the fit, you'll evaluate the model. So here in this journey, as you can clearly observe, you'll start from loading the data till evaluating your machine learning model. So that is what is expected for you to know beforehand before you start your deep learning journey. So that is ML basics. Okay, so this covers the entire thing, guys. Like, you should be aware as how you can perform an end-to-end flow using any machine learning algorithm. And to do all these things, most of the time we'll be using sklearn library, including our data pre-processing activity. And apart from this ML basics, you should know about a concept called optimization of machine learning models. Okay, an optimization of this machine learning models. Now here in the step of optimization, you should know the concept of underfit, overfit, and how the various parameters is going to affect the model fit and how it actually affects the data and assumptions that each model has. So all these things are the important knowledge that you need to have in mind to select a better model for your data. Okay, now once you have the ML optimization techniques, you should be aware about an ensemble models. Now here you will be coming across various models. It could be bagging, boosting, and any such models, guys, random forest. So you should be aware as why we are using these ensemble models instead of a single model. And with that intuition, you will be ready to progress your learning journey to deep learning. Now, in order to get the complete benefit of this deep learning, there is one prerequisite that you have to do. That is knowledge about mathematics. More specifically, I'll be talking about vectors and matrices from your linear algebra section, that is up to the level of class 12, guys. Okay, if I talk about NCERT, it's up to till class 12. Okay, the reason because whenever we have the data, we try to represent every data in the form of a vector, and the collection of vector, we know that it's actually a matrix. So we'll have an input data in the form of a matrix and the output data in the form of a vector, and we'll be doing some kind of an mathematical operation over there so that when I give an input, I'll get the respective output value. Hence, it is very important that you have a basic knowledge about vectors and matrices, and along with the important concepts like eigenvectors, eigenvalues, and various properties about these vectors and as well as matrices. It's very important that you know all these things to understand as what is happening inside a deep learning model. And along with this linear algebra, you also need to understand about calculus. Now, more specifically, you should know how to work with how to perform differentiation for an equation having single variable, and also you should be aware as how a multivariate calculus would look like, or multivariate differentiation would look like. That means you have an equation which contains multiple variables and you want to take a derivative of one of the variable, that means partial derivative. So you should know how you can do that. The reason because in our deep learning models, to update the weights and bias term in the deep learning model, we'll be taking use of the concept of grads. Now this grads is nothing but partial derivative of my loss function with every parameter in my deep learning model. Hence, it's very important that you have the basic knowledge about calculus. And once you have these prerequisites, that is, once you know about Python programming language, and once you're comfortable with working with the data using various libraries and perform data wrangling, data cleaning, and all those important stuff that we have to perform on the data, and you are ready to apply various machine learning models and also some of the advanced techniques when it comes to machine learning, that is machine learning optimization, including ensemble models, with the knowledge of linear algebra, you should be ready to learn about deep learning. Now here, when you start your learning journey with deep learning, you'll start with the perceptron, where you try by understanding about how a single neuron would work and how it would look like. And from there, you are going to begin your learning journey by understanding about deep neural networks. Okay, now here this deep neural networks is nothing but a collection. A deep neural networks would look something like this. I'll be having neurons which are connected together in the form of a layer. Okay, and here we'll have some kind of a connection that would look like this. Okay, so this connection, we'll call it as dense connection, where every value in my one layer is connected to every other neuron in my next layer. So this is called as dense network, and as a overall we are going to call as deep neural network. And here we are going to call it as an hidden layer, and we'll have some input layer, and we'll also have some output layer which process the data. So all this stuff as a basics, you'll start your learning journey. And once you understand the basics, and as well as how to implement deep learning neural networks using any of your favorite frameworks, so it could be Tensorflow or Pytorch. So once you begin your learning journey with any of the framework, you'll start with your next learning journey, that is understanding how to work with convolutional neural network. Now using this convolutional neural network, you will understand how you can analyze the image data, which is in highly unstructured data, and using this image data, how you can perform image recognition or how to identify the image or the classes of the image. And with that basic understanding, you'll proceed ahead to learn about object detection. Now here you learn about various techniques and various architecture that are out there. So you'll be learning about RCNN and YOLO and other advanced deep learning algorithms, guys. And this is followed by RNN, which is recurrent neural network, which will actually help us in analyzing the sequence data. And once you understand about this recurrent neural network, you will go ahead and learn about some of the advanced yet interesting applications, that is GANs, which is generative adversarial neural networks, and you'll also learn about autoencoders. And along with that, you'll also be learning about reinforcement learning, restricted Boltzmann machine, and you'll also learn about how you can process the textual information using various models in deep learning. And finally, you'll be learning about deployment of deep learning models on cloud. Now you can learn any of the favorite cloud perspective. You can learn about GCP or you can learn about AWS, but you need to have a knowledge of at least one of the cloud. The reason because you cannot run everything on premise, and most of the companies are embracing the cloud technologies because it is cost effective and it is easier for them to scale as well. Okay, now this is how your deep learning curriculum would look like. First, importantly, you'll have a Python programming language. Okay, so Python programming language is where your learning journey would start, and from there you learn about important libraries that are required for data science, which will help you to perform data wrangling and visualization. And once you are comfortable in handling the data, you'll apply various machine learning algorithms on that data so that you can make some insights out of the data. And then you'll understand as how you can optimize various machine learning models, and you'll understand how you can combine multiple machine learning models to get the better and better accuracy out of the data set. And once you have everything, like once you're able to analyze on the data, you'll have a deep dive into the mathematics where you learn about linear algebra and calculus, and some of the important topics includes vectors, matrices, eigenvalues and eigenvectors, and along with that differentiation, that is single variable differentiation and multivariate differentiation. And with all this important understanding of the concepts, you'll proceed towards the deep learning journey. For deep learning neural networks, it could be with any of your deep learning framework out there. It could be MXNet, Tensorflow or Pytorch. And once you start your learning journey with deep learning, you'll proceed with convolutional neural network to understand how you can work with image data as well as the video data. And then this is followed by object detection techniques, recurrent neural networks to work on sequence data, and GANs and autoencoders, and reinforcement learning, restricted Boltzmann machine, NLP, and finally deployment to the cloud. I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. If you want more such content as how you want to prepare your curriculum for your own self-learning journey, do let me know in the comment section and I'll be happy to help you. In our channel, I already have a deep learning series that is going on, and I'll be adding more videos, guys. And there's already a linear algebra series. And if you want any such series that I have to start, please let me know in the comment section and I'll be happy to help you guys. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.